Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Listen, I'm not a fan of zoos, and I hope the mayor of Attleboro picks up her case to close the Capron Park Zoo now that Ramses the lion has died in captivity. In fact, he was put down after 20 years. He was getting sick. And it's sad because we saw him on the news only last week. He was clearly not well. They said he's got to go in hospice, and he didn't last in hospice. Only a couple of days they put him down. And then at Roger Williams Park Zoo in Providence, we're finally getting rid of 3 elephants that have been there for about 30 years. Pacing back and forth in an enclosure just off Route 95. I don't think that was very humane. But they're going to a sanctuary next year in Tennessee, and we're not getting any more back. At least that's the 2 candidates for mayor agree upon. And up in Attleboro, they're not getting another lion. Good, good, and good. Now, there's an animal sanctuary. It's a wildcat rescue in Chepachet, Rhode Island. I didn't know about this, but I want to bring them on because I want to know more about what they do. Joining me is Karle Busse. She's the founder, and Lisa Dowaliby. She's the vet tech who works up there. Good morning, ladies. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks
Lisa,
for having us.
did I say your name correctly?
Dowaliby.
Dowaliby. Yes, I did. All right. You guys run. It's a rescue for wildcats, but you take in bobcats, which are pretty big cats. Karle, you founded this with your husband. Where do these bobcats come from? And you keep them in Chepachet?
Yeah, so they have natural habitats. We actually just doubled them in size. Their habitats. We opened it in 2018, and we basically take animals, wildcats that can't be released. So people will buy them as pets from breeders, which is obviously not a good idea, but they will do that. Sometimes you can try to do wildlife rehabilitation, and they'll fail. They won't be able to. They'll sort of imprint on people. They won't be too afraid of people, and they'll not be able to catch live prey. So that's the circumstances of the 4 that we have. Like someone bought 2 of them, and then 2 of them were failed rehabs, not from us. They came from a different sanctuary. But yeah, so we don't believe that they should be pets, but they also shouldn't be in captivity. But then what do they do? What do you do with them? You shouldn't kill this beautiful, healthy animal that's happy. So we're just sort of like this interim for animals that have nowhere to go, basically.
You specialize in cats. Bobcats, I mean, they're wild animals. Yet people somehow get a hold of them, and then they can't keep them. They get big, and it's the same old story. You also have 13 regular house cats that, for one reason or another, had to leave the house. All right, tell me a little bit more about your place. Why did you found it? Where's the money? Is this a labor of love? Did it come out of your pocket?
Yeah, well, we do. My husband and I both work full time, and a lot of it is funded by us, but we are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we rely on donations. And yeah, we just, there's a lot of cats, believe it or not, that we probably turn down about 10 requests a year. Someone will call us and say, we have a caracal, we have a serval, we have a bobcat. You may have heard of the whole Tiger King thing. So we are part of a network of sanctuaries that have tigers, and they took some of his tigers. So we're not taking tigers. We're sort of, now there's a medium-sized cat problem, bobcats. So there's nowhere for them to go. They can't be released into the wild, and we don't believe they should be euthanized because they're perfectly healthy and happy animals. But so we basically have them, they live on site here. We have 9 acres, and their habitats are very, you can see online, very natural. We're not open to the public, and we just kind of leave them alone and let them eat like kings and treat them as best as they can.
Yeah, Lisa, let me ask you this: the habitat. You're the vet tech. Do they need special attention? Are they? Can you pet them? These bobcats have become somewhat domesticated, or no?
No, we treat them with respect, and we always have in our minds that they are a wild animal. We provide them with enrichment. So you take, what does that animal do naturally in the wild? And we provide them with things like that to stimulate them. So we can't be nature for them, but we can be as close as possible. And part of that is respecting that they are a wild animal, and we do not have human interaction with them. That's something that you want to stay away from when you have this kind of a creature in your possession.
Are they in a fenced-in area as close to wild as possible? They're not. It's not an enclosure, right? What would I see if I come there?
So it's an enclosure, and unfortunately they're climbers, so they have to have a top too. But so it's chain link, and there's a perimeter fence around it. It's all state, USDA and state regulated. And yeah, there's lots of trees and bushes and places for them to hide. So it looks basically like, if you came, you might not even see them because there's so many places for them to hide. But we're open to the public because we respect that, they don't want to be around people. They're comfortable around the people who feed them. They know she's a vet, so when they see her coming, they say, oh no, because we have to give them rabies vaccines and various other things like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've been railing against the zoos, particularly Cape and Park Zoo. The elephant, the lion just died, and then same thing, Roger Williams, 3 elephants. They're going to go to a sanctuary. Let me ask you, Lisa, you're a vet tech. What do you think? How do you feel about zoos? And if you like zoos, that's fine. Tell me. You don't have to agree with me.
I think that zoos have come a long way from when I was a kid. I remember seeing big cats pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
And of course, every zoo is different, but the animals there, excuse me, are ambassadors for creatures that are in the wild and desperately need conservation. And so when my parents would take me to the zoo, it would make me care about those animals and want to go home and learn more about them. So I feel as though if they are an animal that could not be released into the wild, kind of like Karle's animals here, that we can use them for education as long as we give them as natural an environment as possible. I don't think animals should be bred specifically for zoos, but I feel like if they are a wounded animal that has nowhere else to go, or in the situation where they were a pet inappropriately and they go into a zoo situation that's natural, I think it could be beneficial to everyone.
But you're right, Jean. I mean, there's a big difference between a AZA zoo that focuses on care versus a roadside zoo. And I think it's great that the elephants are going, I believe, to a GFAS, which is Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, sanctuary in Tennessee.
Yes.
And we're part of that. We're part of that too. So they have strict guidelines on how you're a bona fide sanctuary and what you have to do to improve. You're not, lots of rules to make sure that you're not just acting irresponsibly as pets, and the animals have the best care. But yeah, they shouldn't be in cages, basically, is how we feel.
Well, too late for Ramses. He was up there for 20 years in an enclosure. Nothing like the savannah that he should have been in. And the elephants are going away, and we're not getting more new elephants. So it's slow. It's an elephant pace, but at least we're going in the right direction. Ladies, thank you. Good luck with your sanctuary in Chepachet for big cats.
Thank you. Thank you.